Come on, I gotta keep moving this and see if we get anything down here. Let's go upstairs.
Hey, Steve, you just see what happened? We lost another friend.
Well, we couldn't do anything for her. She was bit. You know what happens when they get bit.
We should at least done something.
There's nothing we could have done. Now we have to go before we end up like her. You check the kitchen, take anything that looks edible and leave everything else. I'll go check the bathroom. Hey, I got you some mouthwash. Maybe now I can stand being next to you.
Gee, thanks. You know, the walkers remind me of Faucet Snails.
What? Where the heck did that come from, and what the heck's a faucet snail?
Well, before all this, we were learning about invasive species in science, and we had to do a project on it, and my group got the faucet snail, so, yeah.
So, how does walkers remind you of a little snail?
Well, because a faucet snail is a host of an intestinal fluke, and whenever a duck or a coot eats it, it dies, so it reminds me of the walkers, because whatever disease the walkers has, whenever it eats someone or bites someone, they die, really, so, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard a little about them. They're also known as Bithynia tentaculatia, which is a scientific name for them, kind of like how different people call walkers different names. There are also not been any successful ways of managing the snails, like the walkers, although there are methods on trying to manage them, one of them being to close ponds that aren't widely used, known for having snails from the public. The way the citizens could have done anything was by checking their boats when they leave a river or pond that was known for having the snails. They also reproduce sexually, don't they? Yeah, they lay eggs from May to July mostly. And the eggs are laid on things like wood, rocks, and other shells in groups of about 1 to 77. Only 10% of the eggs are expected to live through after the first year, though. And the snails are visible through the shells about 5 weeks later. There is also parasitic reproduction, mostly because of the larvae trematoids. The sporocysts, radia, and cercaria develop in the reproductive tissue of the snails and make more of the parasites, which are transferred to the waterfowl that eat them. The snails kill the ducks, coots, and other waterfowl in the area, which causes the increase of certain species of fish that the ducks and waterfowl would usually eat, which decreases the organisms that the fish eat for food. They also compete with native snails, which are vital food sources for the waterfowl in the area. They also had to adapt to where they live, like growing nervous tissue, which they use for sensing enemies that could kill them. They also had to adapt so they can turn their shell 180 degrees, which allows them to hide their head if they needed. The parasitic relationship causes a short lifespan, only about 4 years, so the female snail has to adapt to lay more eggs in a shorter time. So yeah, I guess the walkers and snails are pretty similar. So, anything else you know about the snails? It was nothing. It was just Sure, we have to go now. Battery must be dead on this one.
This one's dead too.
Some brown coat for today.
Okay, then what do we do now?
I think there's another car down by the shed. All we have to do is sneak around and walk. Since we can't sneak by the walkers right now, why don't you tell me about those Faucet Snails or whatever?
I don't think this is time for that.
Come on, it'll get our minds off the walkers over there. Plus, maybe it'll make time go quicker.
Fine. Well, they came from Europe and were introduced to Great Lakes in the 1870s. Like I said before, this is Luke. They carry killed ducks, they eat snails, hemorrhoids, cactus animals, and turtle organs, and causes hemorrhaging. Ducks aren't able to fly or dive anymore because of snails.
So they're kind of like how whatever the walker had causes the people fevers and then eventually kills them.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. They also compete with the native snails, like walkers kill off the living.
I heard that they also cause water intake pipes and other underground equipment. It's kind of like how the walkers over there are still crowding around the door.
Yeah, and they have now gone populated from Minnesota, along with being on the shorelines of the Mississippi River near the town of La Crosse. They're found on shorelines, rivers, and lake bottoms, aquatic plants, and docks.
Well, they sound like lovely things.
Yeah, whatever you say. Okay, it looks like we're able to sneak past them. Let's go. Doesn't work. Okay, we need to go.
I think those walkers are full of snails.
Yeah, thank God.
So here, come look at this.
Like that.
Looks like some sort of sanctuary. Think we should go?
Oh, there's nothing to lose.
So what happens if I get this in my mouth?
Just eat it.
Is it like...
They shouldn't do much. I mean, I'll read the warning.
after it gets in my mouth?
Do not use theoretical blood in mouth or near.
I'm dead!
No, but it's a nice sound. He's like, you have a nice hat. Well, you
Got your flashlight. Alright, let's do it again. Oh, I'm still recording. I'm still recording. What?
Ew, it looks like she's scabbing up there. It looks like it's like bumbling.
And wait, when you
Tell me I'm beautiful!
Look at there's a car coming.
Hi!
What are they doing, Rob?